my heart is. I eat.
Our first film together.
No, shall I do that again?
So do you remember dressing as a pirate at the age of 5 then? And
No, not really, but it was a big memory on, I think it was May 18th or 21st, where you decided to play it in front of the whole family and friends and everything.
to George and David's film premiere at Working Title Films HQ in London. It's a 1 in 2 movie, from going from a pirate at the age of 5 to making a film about David's cancer journey at the age of 22. How did that feel?
We had 3 screenings with family and friends, and we're able to have everyone there that has been supporting us through our career.
It's fair to say that buying and selling our equipment has been a huge part of our journey.
So what made you pick up the camera and decide to start filming that little sequence?
Well, I'd been a stills photographer as an amateur
Right.
since, sort of being very, very young, probably about 13 or 14. My brother got an Olympus OM10, and I used to take pictures with that. Video, we did have a video camera for a while, but it wasn't something that I particularly played with that much. That was the first time I'd really picked up a camera properly and started trying to put a story together, and then sort of playing with you and making it a game.
Yeah.
And used to really enjoy it. I mean, you can see in the film, you had great fun doing that.
There's millions of them.
We started as stills photographers.
I guess working on DSLRs, it pushes you more to understand the skills and the setting you need for videography, and doing photography helps that. Like when you're in college, you learn using DSLRs, and then you start making that slow progression. So how do you feel now with all the equipment that we've got from when you first started with that little camera filming me, and then going to Greece with a little Panasonic filming YouTube videos and travel videos that used to get 40,000 views a video? It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, we were getting more views with that Panasonic camcorder, but we innovated, didn't you? Do you remember when we pulled some pillows up in the back of the car and wedged the camera in, and we did a shot over about a 2-mile stretch as if you were running it, and then we reversed the film, and I think I did it early in the morning so that there'd be no cars going. When I reversed it, there'd be no cars going backwards, and luckily there weren't. I think there was one jogger that I got running backwards round a corner, and that was it. And then we finished that sequence with you running straight into the sea, and we shot that from 4 different angles. I mean, there were no GoPros in those days. I had to stand in the sea with that camera. As an engineer, I found opportunities for filmmaking at work. Some of the people that I was working with, they were ambassadors for the Olympics. So we were filming them as they were doing some of their work, and we thought, well, we've got to make a video about this. And I don't really remember, we were running a fundraising organisation called Paddle for Good at the time. So I'd got sort of a big group of people at work, and I said, well, come on, let's instead of going for a walk or going for a kayak or whatever, should be sponsored, let's try making a film. Yeah. So your mum let me buy a 7D off a friend of ours, and we took that out and we started filming with it. I hadn't a clue how to focus it. I think when that was on video mode, I don't think it had an autofocus. I also made a series of safety films, one of which came runner-up in a National Safety Award. Compared to today, the editing software back then felt primitive. So how do you feel the change with how editing softwares and cameras have changed from back then in 2012 to what you got nowadays? Oh, God. I mean, I don't know what I was using back then, but I was using free software, to edit. Yeah, probably then iMovie or something. Yeah, there was no understanding of colour grading or sound engineering. I mean, it was just kind of throw it all together. But somehow, and I don't know whether it's because, in my younger years I had a little recording studio, so I kind of knew how these things went together. So I don't know whether it was that helped me actually have a product that kind of half worked without having all the bells and flashing lights that we have today. With George's school, we made a safety video about the dangers of trespassing on the railway, in which George appeared.
Let's go then. Are you sure? You some sort of chicken joke?
You were 12. We got
volunteers from your school, and there was at a girls' school in Bedford as well, and we got some volunteers from that girls' school. And I think there must have been about 8 or 9 of us. We got a teacher, Swanee, who's still a really good friend of mine. He helped me because I've got no clue how to talk to kids or how to... And a chap called Alex Partington, who was running his own company at the time. He lent us his 7D, and he filmed for a lot of it for us. We won the competition and £500 worth of camera equipment for the school. And then, do you remember after that, you and Michael wrote a little film? It was only about 2 minutes long. It was called Honesty.
Honesty, yeah.
Honesty. And you came to me and you said, Dad, I need an aeroplane.
Well, Michael, his dad managed to get a Lamborghini, didn't he? So
he did. He found a Lamborghini.
So we had to
try and... So then the pressure was on. And I was sat at work one day in London, and I was looking totally miserable, I think. And this chap came over that I know, and he said, what's the matter? So I explained to him. I said, I feel awful. I said, I've never had to let my son down, but I can't find what he needs. And I said, it's a really, really big ask. And he said, oh, well, I think I know somebody who's got one. Shall I ask him if he can borrow it?
I mean, I think we all were just expecting a small little light aircraft, and then this private jet just sat there.
And again, bless him, Alex. We did all that filming on the 7D, but Alex lent us those tungsten lights. Do you remember? Really hot lights. So you think what we use now with the LEDs and what have you, but they were super hot.
So I remember that daunting time of year when I was picking my GCSEs, and I wanted to do photography because I had a passion for it back then. But that kind of spiraled, I guess, back from when you helped out with that film to starting a photography club, where you opened it up to people that were in, I think, year 7, and allowing them to start photography and maybe choose that as a career path, or maybe something they want to do because they like art, but they're not good at drawing and they can't express themselves on a piece of paper or a canvas, but they can do it through the means of photography.
I started running a photography club and did so for 5 years. In that time, we got to do some really exciting work.
It was an amazing experience being able to photograph people of A-list celebrity status and being able to, I guess, support a good cause. But it did make me realise that photography isn't something that I wanted to do later on, and it made me start looking into videography. I think it was the turning point, wasn't it, for us? It was 2019, wasn't it, when I'd finished my GCSEs and I went to college to study media and film production.
Yes. With George studying creative media at college, I gained my CAA drone qualifications and we started using it to make documentaries. I mean, that taught us a lot, didn't it?
It did teach us a lot, and having to lug gear across fields in Scotland, probably, what was it, March?
It was very
freezing.
It was.
And all wrapped up, we had brought a little pop-up tent to stick all the gear in.
Yeah,
in
keep it dry.
Because we're on the coast.
Yes.
The waves crashing up. And yeah, there was a challenging first shoot with a new bit of equipment, which was the C200, wasn't it?
With our first cinematic camera, the Canon C200, we went on to shoot films for actor-producer MJ Smith, writer Phil Smith, and actor Dane Fox.
Thank you. Oh, I've missed you.
We started filming a documentary at the Bluebell Railway.
And then when I turned 16, I joined the cleaners roster. And then you're on swing, have your arm right back, and then just in one movement, up and over.
In 2019, George started making a film with his great-granddad Sid about his involvement in World War II.
That spotted us, and they fired machine gun through this edge.
With the new purchase of the Canon C500 Mark II, it was time to think about selling the C200. How did you feel when we sold the 200?
It felt like the right decision, I think, because we weren't really getting the use out of it at that point because we'd got the 500.
Yes.
And it just become that camera that we just sat there, and it seemed a shame because someone else could use that and get more out of it.
Around this time, we also sold the drone to help fund more equipment. We found the drone so draining on time for all the planning. It would take us 2 days to plan, wouldn't it? Because we were so meticulous and had to be meticulous.
It's when you realise that you can't do it all yourself.
Buying and selling equipment has become a key to our success. We learnt what we needed as we pushed ourselves harder, and having outlets for our surplus equipment helped us to keep investing in what we needed. In 2022, George decided to go to university to study filmmaking, something he said he'd never do. What changed your mind?
Well, I was struggling to get a job within the industry, and I had a year out. I tried to make it work, but it didn't work, and I was like, I'd just go to uni, get the degree, and I'm glad I did because I met some amazing people and I got some great contacts now that I can take forward and I'll be able to collaborate with in the future.
We continued making films together while George was at university, the highlights being the completion of a film about great-granddad Sid, another train documentary called Isabel of Amerton, and our popular documentary The Baby Killers. By 2025, George was well into the production of 1 in 2 movie with his housemate David Isaacor. This is a touching story about David's cancer journey, and Sarah Jane Wright was their mentor and executive producer for this production. If Sarah's name sounds familiar, you may have seen it in the credits as executive producer of the Bridget Jones series of films. We kind of just stopped, really, because you were still going full bore with 1 in 2 movie to get it finished and get it over the line.
Yeah.
You'd now got a crew on board.
It had to be a uni project at that point.
And yes, you were successful in having it accepted as a student project, weren't you? At the end of May 2025, 1 in 2 movie premiered at Working Title Films HQ in London with 3 screenings. Shortly after, George and David got their results. First class honours degrees in filmmaking. I'm now at a point where I guess what I set out to do was to help my son and help him be interested in film, in something I'd always wanted to do but never had the opportunity to do until I was a lot older. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
You finished your university. I'm now thinking of going to university and perhaps doing an MA in media production.
Yeah.
So I might be doing that for the next year while you go and do whatever you do. It's been an interesting time.
Yeah, it's been a good journey so far.
It really has. Maybe I'll retire soon, I don't know. Well done, George.